everyone, welcome back to the channel for a review on the newly released 1/12 scale Mezco Toys Art the Clown figure from Terrifier. These are some of the other officially released Art the Clown pieces that exist in the world, but this one here is very special. Multiple head sculpts, loads of different looks, display options, tons of accessories, all in this small little package. Very impressive. I can't wait to show this to you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight. Here's the back of the box showing you everything that you get inside here. 3 different head sculpts. Now the only niggle I got is I wish that the outfit was clean and I could just bloody it up myself, but it's already bloody, so there you go. I might add some more blood effects to it during this review, or maybe in a separate video I'll do some mods, who knows. But I got this from madabouthorror.co.uk. They got them in really quickly and it took like 1 day to get to me. So Mad About Horror have them, probably not for long because it's going to sell out, I'm sure, but that's where I got mine. And shout out to Toys of Arkham on YouTube for dropping the first review and making me aware that this was even out, so I'm very excited. Great packaging, a hell of a lot to contend with in this box, and it's just absolutely loaded with goodies. Okay, so let's unbox him. And this is the first thing you'll see when you take it out of the cardboard box. You can see Art the Clown in there, along with 2 other heads alongside him, plus a severed head from the pizzeria, loads of hands, loads of weapons, and more underneath this layer as well. Alright, here's our first look at the figure. I'm definitely going to be doing some blood work on this, just to add in some more kind of fresh blood here and there. Don't want to go too mad with it because he's already pretty covered. I definitely would have preferred a clean look with the option, you know, to customize it yourself. Or maybe they'll do a clean one later. But the 3 head sculpts look very, very good. Very strong likeness to David Howard thought was Art the Clown. Alright, let's get him out. So 9 months ago this figure was announced, and I've been really anticipating it, getting very excited about the thought of owning it, because as others have said, it's like if Hot Toys made this, but it's just smaller. But you get probably even more stuff than you would if Hot Toys did it. I mean, this is just a crazy amount of accessories. Some of the hands already have the weapon kind of attached in there, although you can remove the syringe from the syringe hand. And you get that beautiful flame effect there. All the blood effects look really good. And I love that head sculpt there. That is awesome. You get the glasses from Costume Shop in part 2. Another head sculpt there. There's that awesome weapon that he made in the sequel. And you get the severed head from the pizzeria. That lights up apparently. And 2 black bags. So that's nice that they gave you 2 of them. The base is really nice as well. And then we've got the more kind of stern expression that comes on the figure right out of the box. But what a really well thought out, great package. Just show you this cool blood effect that just kind of slots in there, and that looks great from different angles. That's just one of them. You get 3 different blood effects. Noticed you don't get his gun from the first movie, but I'm sure folks watching this who collect Mezco stuff, you more than likely have 1 or 2 other figures that have a gun that you could possibly use if you wanted to. That is really nice. There's another one for the kitchen knife. I think that's what it's supposed to go on. You might be able to use different weapons with different blood effects. That is another one for you. Alright, so you can remove the hair on this severed head, and the light switch is at the top there. And then you can see the light up feature. And once the hair's back on, you can turn it on and off by pressing down on his head. You don't have to remove the hair to turn it on and off. That's pretty cool. Glasses go on nice and easy. They fit really well. I think the actual, black center of the glasses should be bigger. The eye holes or whatever, the visors seem a bit small to me. I always thought that, but yeah, I wish they were a little bit bigger in the center. But they're nice. Alright, so I switched out the head sculpt because I really wanted to see what this one looked like on the body. And there you go. Great job painting the eyes. The eye colour seems to be from Terrifier 2. And we got some pretty cool blood effects on the face. Teeth and gums look awesome. Very accurate, looks like David Howard Thornton under the makeup. Size of the hat looks good. And just the whole shape of his face, dimensions, makeup application, the black on the white looks really good too. I'm definitely gonna have to add some more fresh blood to the outfit. I still got my original order for one of these with Big Bad Toy Store, so I'll have a second one coming in the near future, and that's good because I can utilize at least another one of these amazing head sculpts. A little look from the side here. It's going to be so much fun posing him. Let's get a look at the figure turning on the rotating base. I think the proportions are really good. You can even make out his butt in the costume. For a 1/12 scale figure, that is quite impressive. The length of the arms, length of the legs, he looks suitably slender and tall. We'll see him next to some other Mezco 1/12 scale figures in the review. They haven't always been the best at capturing the height of a character, like Pennywise from It, the Skarsgård version next to, say, the Michael Myers 78 figure. They're basically the same height, and that should not be the case. So we'll see how Art the Clown here measures up next to him. But look at that. Might be one of their best figures, and I don't have many. I think I got about 6 or 7 now out of the hundreds they've made. Different characters, superheroes, horror stuff, all kinds. And the way it's stitched up at the back looks really nice. But just the proportions, the body shape, the slimness, it looks really, really good. This is an excellent Art the Clown figure with a very strong likeness. Filled up one of the bags just with some tissue for now. I'll figure out something better later, but he can throw it over his shoulder with ease thanks to the great double bend in the elbows and all the other little joints. Got him looking like he's creeping around now with that scalpel. One foot raised up off the surface. Body shape looking really good. And it's nice and easy to change over the hands and the heads. Nothing is stressful or really hard and difficult to replace. It's all very functional and easy. Yeah, this is seriously going to take some doing for any company to deliver a better package when it comes to Art the Clown as an action figure. I mean, the amount of stuff you get, the posability, the likeness, the proportions, all of it, man. This is really, really incredible stuff. Definitely the best Art the Clown figure we have right now. This is the one to get. Alright, I think this is about as close as I can get. I can always punch in for you, but I'm really impressed by the teeth and the color of them. They are perfect. Gums are nice and dark, but not as dark as the lips. They're more of a kind of really dark kind of red. And the blood effects are very good. They've used some really good either fake blood or a certain kind of paint. Again, the eyes on this head sculpt, I'll have to check them all for you, but these are more of a green color, like in Terrifier 2. Check it out from the side. The shape of the nose, the chin, cheekbones, the deepness of the eyes, and all the wrinkles sculpted into the head wrap as well. Very, very good. Right, now we'll take a look at the laughing head sculpt. And look how intense the eyes look. The teeth again look excellent, and the tongue showing now. And some nice blood spray around his jaw and chin and the neck. Nice wrinkles in the back of the wrap. That's what I'm calling it anyway. You can see the ear coming through. Oh, that angle there is terrifying. Wow. I really like this head sculpt. It's going to come in really handy. Oh, there is a little bit between his two front teeth. Could be a little bit better defined with a little bit of black paint. Might have to try and fix that. But the eyes on this one, they're very good, but I do prefer that kind of look into the side, smiling head sculpt so far. That seems to be the best one. Let's go back to that kind of stern looking head sculpt now. Yeah, this will probably be right up there with the smiling looking to the side head sculpt. That's my favourite, and he's looking a little bit to the side here as well, not dead straight forward, but just a little bit off. And that is a really good one. That's about as close as I can get. I like the white finish on the paint as well. It's a really nice kind of matte finish, especially around the head wrap. But I love the way, well, the paints they've chosen to do this, even down to the blood and the black makeup on the face. Just get you a little side profile on this one. And there's a really nice subtle texture on the hat, and you can see the white kind of elastic string going around his head to hold the hat on. You can push that collar around his neck, or whatever you want to call it, the ruffly bit. You can manipulate that with your fingers. It hasn't got a wire in it, but it's just because I switched over the head, it's kind of sticking up a little bit. I'm able to get him to look down quite a lot, considering it's a one-piece situation with the head and neck. I mean, he's able to look down quite significantly and pull off a really creepy look with this stern-looking head sculpt, holding onto the brain here. That looks very real for a 1/12 scale figure. It looks just like him. able to get him looking up pretty good as well. Not as good as down, but there is a surprisingly good range of motion in that neck. I just borrowed a gun from my Crow Mezco figure, and it reminds me quite a lot now of the scene from Terrifier 3 before he gets his center outfit, but I guess he was wearing a clean outfit at the time. But it's just something about that expression when he gets a bit moody after they don't react well to being peed on. This works really nicely. He doesn't hold on to that gun very well. He might have a better one for that, but you can do it. You can just borrow a gun from one of your other Mezco figures and have him holding it. Looks cool with this expression. Alright, let's take a look at this flame effect. The way the light reacts to it is really, really cool. And I've got the laughing head sculpt on for this look. And I was just thinking, on the box for this figure it just says Damien Leone's Terrifier. So I guess it's officially like a Terrifier 1 figure, even though it comes with accessories clearly from the sequel. If they, because I'd really love to have a clean look for this figure, maybe they could do a clean look for part 2 and have maybe less accessories, but chuck in the little pale girl in the box as well. And then obviously do a Terrifier 3 Santa art. I mean, Mezco, that would be the dream right there. Can you imagine that? Part 2 official figure from Mezco. Maybe less accessories that came with this one because there's so many in there. But just, chuck in the little pale girl and a clean outfit with the mop that he uses to clean up in the laundrette, the newspaper he's reading, and all kinds of other little bits and pieces. The possum, whatever it was. And the box with the heart in it, in the dream sequence. So many things you could do. This looks amazing with him just standing there holding on to his honk honk. Just being able to work with the body and put a little tilt just in his hips and a little tilt in his head just to give a pose like this a little bit more cheekiness. It's all totally doable. Now he can sit down, and if he can sit like that and his knees bend well, which they do, he can sit in a chair as well. So if you got yourself a 1/12 scale chair, you're good for sitting poses. I think he looks pretty funny sitting there like that. I can also see some sculpted socks at the top of the shoes, some little white socks sculpted. That's a really nice little detail. Here's a little height comparison between the Mezco Toys 1/12 scale Michael Myers from 78 on the left and the original Freddy by Mezco Toys 1/12 scale on the right. And Art the Clown is a little bit taller than Freddy, and he's about the same size as Myers, which is not how it should be, but I kind of expected it going in. With my little experience that I have with Mezco Toys, height differences is always a bit of an issue, but I can't fault them when it comes to the effort they're piling into these figures. So there you go, that's how they look together. And there's a look with a NECA Ultimate Halloween Ends Myers figure on the right. There's some really nice detail on Art the Clown's clown shoes. There's some blood, and you've got that rip at the front on his left clown shoe there. He's so good to pose. You've got him sitting on Myers here, nothing he can do about it. He's honk honk right in his face, being very antagonistic. But I've had no trouble getting him to do anything I want him to do. Legs, torso, arms, wrists, head, ankles. It's all really, really well thought out stuff. Okay, got him holding on to the table leg, or whatever it is, with all the horrible nails and spikes sticking out of it. Sick detail on that. And they certainly give you all the hands you need to hold on to everything properly and securely. I think this will look good with the more kind of stern looking head sculpt. This is great too though, because he's looking very excited about using his new weapon. But there's so many options like Mezco could do if they did a second one. Obviously, like I said, throw in the pale girl, but the apron look, give him a little apron, the mashed potatoes scene, one of the head sculpts with the eyeball from the guy in the morgue plonked into his head. There's loads of stuff they could do. Yep, that looks good. Holding on to the kitchen knife now, that's nicely done. Really cool kind of old dry blood effect on there. That's a decent knife. Right, now I'm just going for that kind of pose he was doing in the first film when he was creeping around with the knife. It was a really good shot of him. Kind of creeping like this, looking very happy, enjoying the hunt. And you're able to do all that with the figure, thanks to the nice plug-in base that plugs into the bottom of his shoe. That'll hold him up good and secure. Okay folks, I'll give you my final thoughts and a score out of 10. It's a no-brainer, this one. If you're an Art the Clown fan, this is the figure to get. It's a lot of fun, and I haven't even scratched the surface of what you can do with it. I ran out of battery power on my camera here, so I'll have to come back and do another pose session in the future, but this will just be the review. And my score is a 10 out of 10. Beautiful base, beautiful body that they've used here with great articulation. Heads are easy to change over, hands are easy to change over. There's so many weapons, so many hands for holding onto them. The 3 different head sculpts. That's not even everything right there in front of him. There's more stuff to the side. The box is beautiful. Everything is just so well thought out. This is a 10 out of 10. So no matter about horror, I have them in stock right now. They'll probably sell out pretty soon. Don't hesitate on this one. Add it to your collection. It's awesome. I hope you've enjoyed the review, folks. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.